Joining us now on the Menard Studio Hotline, the head coach of the Evansville IceMen, Coach Al Sims. Thanks for the time, Coach. Is everything good with the car?
Yeah, it's great to be here, guys, and I'm at the dealership right now, sitting here with you guys.
The original plan was for Coach to be here in studio, and then something came up. I needed to make a run and pick up a car, so he's got a way to get around town, and we appreciate you taking some time out of that to join us
here. No problem, guys.
So I don't know how much you've had a chance to follow the story out of the NFL today with these deflated footballs the Patriots used. Have you ever felt the need to deflate a puck or anything like that to try to get an unfair advantage on it?
It would help us win. I'd definitely do it, that's for sure. But no, we haven't deflated a puck yet. But that's quite a story coming out of New England.
Yeah, it really is.
Today.
Well, what kind of? I mean, is there something a team could do and that you would see, or maybe you have seen a team try to do in regards to the equipment that would give them an unfair advantage on the ice? Is it? I mean, could they sharpen the skates? Is there something they could do to the puck? Is there something in your world that would equate to what's going on in the NFL?
Well, I think the only thing that could happen is the goaltenders wearing oversized equipment. And, unfortunately, we keep that strictly monitored in hockey. And the goalies can't get away with that, or maybe making a bigger stick that they would use in goal to help them prevent goals. But, most of that stuff is monitored pretty closely. So it's very difficult in hockey to get an edge that's not, something visual that we all can see and would complain to the referee immediately and say this guy's gloves are too big or something's going on that, doesn't look right on the goaltender. But for the regular players who are playing out, there's not a whole lot you can do to improve their game or maybe give you an edge.
Well, you got a little time to breathe now, Coach, with the All-Star break. But you kind of, hit the ground running once you got the work visa and everything else figured out and got all your ducks in a row back home and finally got down here to Evansville. So probably not the best start you wanted. You got a couple in a row, and now you kind of on a little bit of a losing streak. But you did get a point the other night, sending it to overtime. But as far as practices and learning the team a little more as time goes by, some of the positives you've seen, and are you feeling like they're getting more and more into what you want?
Yeah, I think they are. I think the mentality is still remained kind of the expectations. Late in the game having a lead, late in the game tied. These things we still haven't overcome yet, and we need to get better at protecting a lead late in the game and trying to score more goals. But I think, the positives I look at through the 6 games I've been with the team is just, we're allowing 3-4 goals against a game and not 5, 6, and 7. And, we're not having the starts they were having before I got here, which was down 2-0 in the first 5 minutes or down 3-0 in the first 10 minutes of the game. And, it seems like the team is, responding in a better way defensively, which is a positive for me. And, we haven't had a lot of practices together. We've had maybe 2 since I've been here because we're playing so many games in January. But, I think the guys are buying in and the guys are getting the message and trying to do the things that I'm asking them to do. And it's very difficult to just come in and, put things into place. It takes guys, especially professionals, repetition's the best teacher. And, we need a lot of repeats and a lot of video showing the same thing to players before they get it. So it's going to take a little time, and it's baby steps right now. And obviously we had a lot of emotion going the first couple of games I coached, got a couple of wins. And, the league, the division that Wichita's in Missouri is in, I think, is the weakest in the league. And, we fared well against those teams and almost won 3 in a row on the road. So, but the teams in our league, Cincinnati's and the Fort Waynes and stuff, they are the top teams, some of the top teams in the league. And, we came back down to earth after the 2 wins and, have been competing in closing games, but, we want to be on the right side of those games.
We're talking with IceMen head coach Al Sims on the Menard Studio Hotline. Ford and O'Brien on ESPN Evansville 105.3 and online ESPNEvansville.com. Coach, this is a professional sport. We're not trying to make parents happy at the high school level or something. Is this something, as you're here a little bit longer, can you do this? Can you turn this season around With the roster you have, or are you looking at some personnel changes possibly?
Well, I think, we're getting to the point now where, I can evaluate personnel after the amount of games I've seen the guys and, games I've watched in the past, and obviously through practices and, starting to learn the guys' personalities and the dressing room and the what the dressing room's like. So I think it's time for us, if we do make changes, that some personnel will be involved, because we have to look at the future, and not only for this season, but we've got to look at the future for next season, and how can we better our team, through maybe trades for futures or trades for players that would come in immediately and hopefully help us. But those are things that we're definitely looking at now that I wasn't looking at when I first got here.
Coach, sticking with that idea of roster moves and stuff, and obviously at this level of hockey, it happens pretty frequently. Maybe, although as we start to get here into the second half, it may slow down a bit. But you were able to bring in your son Jordan onto the team. Tell us how that came to be, and what is it about Jordan that interested you in, outside of him being your son, obviously, but the style he plays and maybe a familiarity with your system. How did you get him to Evansville, and what does he bring to this team?
Well, we were driving home and, had a couple injuries in Fort Wayne, and, we're actually 3 guys short. I was on the phone all day with the Southern Professional Hockey League, and after the game, coming back home, trying to get players, and, trying to get players that are close enough to us, because we're playing the next night, Peoria being 5 hours away, and I believe Huntsville being 4 hours away. So those were the 2 teams, I tapped, and I know Jean-Guy Trudel very well. I know my son very well, obviously, watching him play as he grew up and knowing the type of player he is. And we brought in Mark Antoine from Huntsville because he was close, and, Bo Driscoll was with us. And, I was thinking of somebody to bring from Peoria and who I could bring, and I just thought, in this quick situation and a turnaround, that my son would be the best option, because I do know his game, and I know he's very defensive-oriented, very responsible defensively, and can score and put up some points. So I thought, he would be a good guy for us to have on the team, and he definitely knows me and knows my systems and knows my emphasis on defense, and thought, he would be a good guy to bring in here for the short term. And, came in for 2 games, and I thought, represented himself well, as did Mark Antoine and Bo Driscoll.
Talking to Evansville IceMen head coach Al Sims, our weekly segment In the Crease. It's Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3, and online, ESPNEvansville.com. You also get back, Coach, after tonight. He's down in Orlando playing in the ECHL All-Star game, but you do get Miles Bell back. He should be back, I believe, in time for the trip over to Cincinnati. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe tomorrow afternoon he's due to arrive in Evansville, and we're very pumped about having Miles back. I mean, obviously made the All-Star team. He is a good player and can definitely help our hockey team. So, Miles is a guy that can definitely help us. I've written to Binghamton, sent an email to their coach, Luke Richardson, to find out about Guillaume Lapine and what his situation is there, and haven't received an answer yet. So, Guy could be there this weekend, or may not be, but I'll certainly let people know as soon as I find out.
Now, I know, Guy, you mentioned him, and he was the captain of the team and then gets called up by Binghamton. At the time, and it's been a few days now, there was no captain named as a replacement for Guy. Has that changed at all, or have you still not officially labeled somebody as the captain of the team?
Actually, we gave the seat to Patrick Kennedy after watching him, one game at home here. Patrick's a guy who's been in the American Hockey League. I think he's a guy a lot of players look up to, and he does the right things on the ice. And, I just thought, asked Patrick what he thought of wearing the C for me for a couple of games till Guy got back, or however long he's gone. And Patrick, was very excited about it, and wanted the C, and that's the kind of guy I want to wear it. A guy who wants to be a leader and wants to go out and do the right things. And I just told him it's very important. He carries my message in the locker room for me. Being an extension of me, and along with the assistant captains, and he was very able to do that and wanted to do that for me. And, I think he's a good guy to have in that position.
That's Evansville IceMen head coach Al Sims, our weekly segment in the Crease. Coach, we'll let you go, let you finish up your car deal there, and we'll talk to you again next week, all right?
Hey, thanks, guys. Look forward to it.
Hey, Coach, if you find any extra money left over, you can grab me one as well. I need something in the 14s, 15s, 2014, 15. I'm not real hard to please.
Okay, buddy. I'll grab one for you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Take care.